So just so because I'm good until 6:30, but then I'll have to do a hard stop at 6:30.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. It's yeah, we just beat the Facebook cutoff, so we'll just go ahead and start with YouTube and we are alive now. I didn't even realize that. Hi everyone. Welcome to the show.
Detroit Business Hub Group Director Nancy O'Neill works with her team of experts. Listen to conversations with business professionals to discover the latest business innovations, insights, and trends. Find out what's hot and what's not in today's business market.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us on the show today. We have with us Realtor Talisa Cohen. Talisa is with EXP Real Estate Group, and she's also my mentor. I'm actually a new agent with EXP as well. Talisa, I will go ahead and allow you to introduce yourself even further.
Hi, everybody. I'm Talisa Cohen. As you see in my tagline, I am the realtor who listens. That is so important that we listen to our clients. But as Nancy said, I am with EXP Realty. I've been with EXP for 2 years, and I operate under my own brand, Power Moves Realty LLC, and that's brokered by EXP Realty. I function as a certified mentor, where I get to work with awesome agents like Nancy, and I service clients, buyers, sellers, and investors throughout southeastern Michigan.
Great, great. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to join us today. Tell us a little bit about how you got started. I know that currently you are a dual agent, so you already have a full time career. What piqued your interest in real estate, and how did you get your business started?
So my interest was peaked in real estate for mainly the reason of being able to have another vehicle to help share information to help people build wealth. That's my primary reason for getting involved in real estate, wanting to build wealth for myself, but then also being able to service the community, my friends and family. Many of us have come to realize that nothing quite gains or shows returns like real estate does. So it only made sense that I get my license, and since obtaining my license, I've definitely worked to build relationships with throughout the industry and build my resume in terms of successful closings. So I actually have a background as a IT professional. I worked in the help desk, also worked as a consultant, and then went on to become a project manager, and then program manager. And where that kind of translates is that that time was not wasted. I feel like it was a great segue into real estate, because in that you have to be very organized, result driven, being able to communicate well and effectively understand what the desired outcomes are. And all these things are critical when you're performing as a real estate professional, especially in sales. So I definitely credit my background in the corporate world for making my transition into real estate a little more smooth. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hey.
Talisa, just bear with me 1 second. Sorry about that. I just wanted to also find out what made you interested in the EXP mentorship program.
So one of my passions is mentoring and teaching. I've mentored with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I tutor with student advocacy group. And then so being in real estate and actually having experience as a realtor, I know when I first got started, one of my challenges was having that mentorship, having somebody to kind of steward me through learning the business. So I definitely wanted to give back and pay it forward now that I am an experienced agent and I have, some knowledge and certifications and things of that nature under my belt. It just definitely is part of my passion to give that back to other agents.
Yeah, I'm a former big sister too, so I know how that is. And as you know, after school I do tutor as well. Why EXP? What influenced you to get started with EXP versus another real estate brokerage?
So oddly enough, I was approached about EXP maybe 5 years ago. And
Okay.
I thought that the business model was really something different and innovative. Being a person that comes from a tech background, I definitely was interested in this whole virtual brokerage. So that, for some, that is a little scary. For me, I thought it was really inviting and cool. I'm an innovative, like I said. But I was kind of comfortable with the brokerage at the brokerage where I was. And so I didn't take the leap right away. What made me come on actually is that some of the people who are a part of the real estate collaboration that I belong to now were one of the young ladies, Lashawn Peterson Jackson. She actually reached out to me and presented the opportunity again. And having the opportunity to team up with her and Tawana and some of the other awesome agents that are a part of the real estate collaboration, in addition to working with Sherry Swift, definitely made sense. And then, having the corporate background and having that security for the retirement planning with stock options and stock purchase plan, being familiar with all that, knowing that EXP offered a similar type of, I guess you could say, fringe benefit was also very attractive to me. And like I said, when I was originally approached, I had been watching the stock and I'm like, well, it's great that it's traded on the stock exchange, but let me see how it moves. And then, definitely the only regret I have is that I didn't join sooner because, the stock definitely took off.
Right. And so how do you know LaShawn? You said you worked with her in another real estate agency or at another real estate agency?
No. So LaShawn and I both have a IT background where she is also dual career for a while. Now she is solely focused on building her real estate business, but we met about 20 years ago. We were co-workers working for a company. I won't name names, but that's how we became acquainted, and then we developed a friendship over the years. And I think she's like, T, I think you'd be great at real estate. And having a business background, like that's what my degree is in business administration, and again having the background in project management and kind of being that taskmaster, being able to help people and drive them to make decisions. She
Well, hopefully Talisa will be back and joining us. We are live. Thank you so much, listening audience and viewing audience, for watching us today. I'm hoping she just had a brief interruption with maybe her internet provider. I'm not really sure. But I am sure that she will be back with us. While we are waiting for her to come back, let's go ahead and watch a commercial. Here she is. Okay, Talisa. Well, we said we're gonna take a quick commercial break while we're waiting for you to I'm
I
glad.
apologize. I don't know. My connection dropped and everything just went away.
It is totally okay. They say it does take like a lot of bandwidth, so they say it's normally best to be very close to your router because has happened before. And I was like, oh, I could just set up anywhere. So one of my clients, I couldn't get into Incubizo, which is where we used to host our podcast, or they would host the podcast for us. And so I was, for whatever odd reason, one day I was locked out. And so I was like, oh, I'm just going to, I'll just run into like a Panera Bread, and their bandwidth is terrible. So needless to say, it was an absolute nightmare. So I was able to get back into Incubizo and go ahead and videotape for the night. So I was like, we didn't even start though till like 7:30. So
It's always when you need it to be spot on, there's always issues.
That's okay. It's kind of like live theater. Things happen. So
Right.
but it's okay. I guess I should ask you the question again. I was just saying like how you and Lashawn met. So you just told me that the two of you used to work together.
Yeah. I think I've elaborated quite a bit on that. I don't know. Like I can go and tell you stories, but she will be mad at me, so I won't go there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You went the scenic route with that. But no, that is fine. I just want people to know, like, you can totally do this. I'm in a different career right now. I'm coming back to real estate part-time, and still working as a teacher full-time as I'm building my business. So you have the flexibility there to be able to do both. And I don't know if you know, but I am the author of Fire Your Job, Be Your Own Boss. So one of the recommendations that I've given to that is don't like just quit your job cold turkey, which as we had, I don't know if it was you or LaShawn I had a conversation with, but I walked away from a career before and started real estate just cold turkey full time. I just quit my job, studied for the exam, and started selling right away. So obviously I had to make some adjustments to my income and expenses, some drastic adjustments. I had to change my lifestyle, move in with family. So, if you don't want to like make major changes to your lifestyle, you can definitely start your career while you're still, working in a different career.
Absolutely.
You have some options.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say absolutely you can do both, so be dual career. Now I will say that while and it's not really just for financial reasons. I mean, I definitely love having the security of a second income, but it really is that I'm passionate about my work. But I will say over the last couple years, having my business grow, I mean, really 100%, 200% year over year. The realization is that there's only so much time. I also have 4 children. I'm a chairperson on several committees for my sorority. So, the list goes on. We don't just operate in real estate, and I don't just function in my other career. So you have to find that work-life balance so that you don't like totally lose it. And, we want to be able to provide excellent service to our clients as well. So, there is that realization that at some point, unless of course you want to be transaction based, which is totally fine. For myself, I do know that I want to, my idea was to build a real estate business. So, and that's another reason why the EXP model fits what I am accomplishing or working to accomplish, is that I'm not trying to be just one transaction at a time, but I'm all working to build a real estate business that has systems and operations in place that I can service clients, and also build a team of agents who I work along.
Okay. Well, as I said before, we are still live. So hopefully Talisa will be back with us again. And we will be able to continue our interview with her. I have really enjoyed working with Talisa. She is my mentor with EXP. I selected EXP because I love the business model. I'm very much an advocate of mentorship. we have our own mentorship program with DBHG. And so when I found out about about EXP through other realtors that I was interviewing, I just thought that and especially with the stock options that you have, I thought it was like a win-win. So it just made sense to me that that would be the real estate agency for me. I'm not sure if Talisa is going to be able to join us again. So we're going to move on with one of her business partners, John Clear. This is where we had the holiday party at John Clear's office. He actually is with EXP as well. The Real Estate Collaborative in Southfield is where his office is located. So I just want to jump right into the John Clear interview that I did with him a few months ago and continue our discussion about the EXP experience with him. Here he is.
Detroit Business Hub Group Director Nancy O'Neill works with her team of experts. Listen to conversations with business professionals to discover the latest business innovations, insights, and trends. Find out what's hot and what's not in today's business market.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to DBHG. Well, that was a first time that we played a commercial before the intro. Obviously, I hit the wrong button, so that does happen sometimes. But I am here with my guest, John Clear. I originally met him through the Shannon Still event. And he is a broker owner of his own real estate agency. And with that, I'm going to allow him to further introduce himself.
Hey, everybody. So my name is John Clear. I've been in real estate for 15 years. And I am a licensed real estate broker. I also wholesale residential and commercial nationwide, but primarily in Michigan, since that is my primary market. And I just have an absolute passion for real estate. I've actually been up over 24 hours, so you can't tell. I have life.
We're both having an off day then. I was like, oh no, but I had already hit the play button. I'm like, okay, moving forward.
It's okay.
You just roll with the punches.
That's right.
Most people probably didn't even notice anyway, unless I pointed it out. So, well, John, thank you so much for being a guest on our show. I didn't get a chance to really talk to you that much at the Shannon Still event, so we'll have to definitely get caught up now on this interview. So how did you actually get started in a real estate business? Did you start as an agent first, and then how did you progress to becoming a broker?
So it was actually my mother that inspired me.
Okay.
I went to U of M, all right, the University of Michigan. I had a full scholarship. I believe that at the time, or maybe still now, was one of the best scholarships. It was the Bill Gates Millennium Scholarship.
Okay.
Bill would pay for undergrad, grad, and PhD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
sounds like you got the hookup.
I mean, yeah. So I think I had to complete like 12 different essays just to get the doggone scholarship. Like my mom was like on me like every day, like I had to complete another essay. I was just essayed out. So, basically like in my sophomore year, my mother gave me the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, very good. Huh?
Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Kiyosaki. Yeah. And I basically like dissected everything in that book, and it had just like worked my mind in a good way. I was taught to, be a good student, get A's, which I did like the latter half of my high school, tenure, and get a good job, right? Good job. And the book was just total opposite of that. So that's why I say from my mind, but in a good way. You know, it just causes you to think in a different realm and just look at things, you know, at a different perspective. So it basically geared my mind to where I am full-time unemployable. That's what I tell people. Like there's no amount of money that will get me to work for someone else, you know. So full-time unemployable to anybody else hiring me, but I'm full-time employable with my own business, right?
I see. Yeah, that means people's next question. What does that mean?
Right. I know. I'm unemployable, right? So that means that they're like no dollar amount that you can offer me will get me to work for you, because I know that I have unlimited income potential with working for myself.
Right. That's great. So where did you stop in the program? Did you finish your bachelor's at U of M, or did you go on to earn a master's? How did that work?
You know, like I said, it goes up to PhD. I dropped out in my sophomore year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so the book had that much of an influence on you. You're like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. So it resonated so deep within my core that I was like, there's no way I can continue like with the knowledge that that I had gained. There's no way that I can continue going through college, preparing to work for, like a big time, like engineering firm, because that's what I studied, engineering.
Right.
At the time, U of M was like second in the nation. So the engineering program was really grueling. I mean, we were in the library like 8-10 hours a day, and they're off the curve system. So even that wasn't good enough. Like in U of M, I was just like a 2.7 student, whereas in high school, I graduated with like a 3.78. So it was super tough. But I was definitely up for the task. But I decided to drop out because with the teachings that Mr. Kiyosaki had prescribed in this book, I felt like that I had the knowledge and that I was well prepared to give it a shot on my own, and that's what I did. It was definitely a struggle, but I made that decision and I never looked back.
Okay, now I do have to ask a question about your mom. How did she take it when you told her you were dropping back out then, and where is she at now, seeing how successful you are in real estate?
Right. Well, thou shalt not cuss on this program.
And Mama definitely can't cuss. Mama's not allowed to cuss.
Yes. But she was definitely living.
I bet she was. Yeah, that's like after I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, I told my mom I wanted to become an airline steward, and she said, "You want to?"
But you know what?
Oh my goodness! She said, "What did you go to college for?" She's like an airline steward. It's like, you gotta be joking.
It just like blew her mind, right? Like, I didn't praise you to drop, to be like a college dropout. Like you got accepted to one of the top universities in the country. Like
exactly.
I said, we were number 2 just behind Georgia Tech for like industrial operation engineering, which is all about like business optimization.
Right.
So, I did take some things from my U of M teaching. Business optimization is all just about doing more with less, right?
Oh, okay.
So just like how to automate your business, how to kind of put it on autopilot, put processes in place, so that you work on your business, not in your business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. I think that whatever you do, we're in another generation than our parents, and I think that society has changed, the marketplace has changed in the last 20, 30 years, and going to college is not a ticket for everyone. It's not the only ticket, and I think that's a very traditional method. And Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book because he talks about the experience of both of his dads. So one had a PhD and was broke. The other one, he was an entrepreneur and he was very wealthy. So he had the best of both worlds. And I like the way that he balanced it. And he said, I'm not telling you to not do one for the sake of the other. He really said it's best to integrate both. Mm-hmm. So I like the way that he didn't just totally, like say that his dad, what his biological father had to offer was like of no value, but at the same time, he probably learned more from his friend's dad. So I really thought it was a really good book. So I actually have to go back and finish reading the book. But yeah, I totally understand parents. I mean, where is she in the process now, seeing how successful you are? Is she happy with the outcomes that she's seen, or does she still want you to like go back to school and finish your degree?
No. I just talked to my mom, very recently, and she was just so. We actually just got a new office in Southfield.
Okay.
We haven't done the grand opening just yet. That's next month.
Okay.
And I took her up to see the office like a little over a month ago, and she got to meet, like some of the crew and whatnot, and she was just smitten. I mean, she was just.
Oh, good.
I mean, like she just like imprinted on pretty much everybody that she met in the office. She left there, with them having like a lasting impression, and she was just telling everybody like how proud she is of them, and she's definitely supportive. Love my mother. She is definitely the reason why, that I have like the core, values that I have. It's all because of her. Yeah, so she's definitely happy.
Good, I'm glad. And that's usually the way parents are. Like, once they find out that you are successful, no matter what you do, they typically, get behind you 100%. And that's weird that Bill Gates is giving away that scholarship, because he dropped out of college himself. He didn't finish college himself. So, and I think he was at Harvard, right? I believe he was at Harvard.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So that just kind of goes to show you he's like one of the world's richest men in history, and like he didn't finish college himself. So
no, it was just a good tax break. It's okay. We get it. Thank you.
I don't know though, but that scholarship, I'm paying college loans back now. It's like getting at least a bachelor's degree for free. That actually sounds like a pretty good ride, but your program sounds a lot more rigorous than mine. I was probably doing about, a little bit under a 3.0. So yeah, I say like an undergrad, you usually party and go to school at the same time.
Right. I didn't even do that. And then to U of M, like I even did like a pre-college like summer program to kind of like prepare me for it. So
yeah,
like the summer before, freshman year, like I was still studying, like calculus and stuff. So trying to get prepared.
Yeah, exactly. They have that type of enrichment program at University of Wisconsin as well for minorities. So yeah, I would say whatever you can do to prep, the more you can do, the better. But 8 hours a day in the library is like you don't really even have time to go to class. So there's no real balance there. So I can totally understand, how you felt. So I'm glad, kudos to you that everything worked out anyway. And, you are definitely on your way to the next Bill Gates. We'll see.
Wow.
But if not Bill Gates, at least, the next, whoever's big in, who are some big names in real estate right now?
Definitely Wendy Patton. She's definitely a local mogul. Just not local, but also, like international. But, she's local here in Michigan and just highly respected. And so I actually posted about Wendy a couple days ago, because we had gone to the RIA meeting, that she hosts in Troy. And, she's the largest, RIA group in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And like it was just a great meeting, and like I hadn't seen her in like I think since 2015 because she featured me on her wholesale panel in 2014 and 15, and I decided to go to the meeting, and it was definitely a great meeting. So like she would be top of my list just because she's more relatable to me. I can be in touch, like her if I need her, like to ask her, for great advice. But as far as anybody else, so my focus is mainly multifamily.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're an investor, so you're not really like quote unquote real estate agent. You're more of like a real estate investor. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I do have my broker's license, but that's mainly just for like another source of income because I'm also with, EXP Realty, so I have like an associate broker's license up under their umbrella, and then I have my own brokerage under my own umbrella, and I have, like my business partner Mike, that you interviewed, like he's with, yep, so I like the diversity of just multiple streams.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Mike, he's been a guest on our show. Mike Speaker's been a guest a couple times. So I'm not sure who invited who, if Shannon invited you to her event, or if Mike invited you, or if you invited him, or if Robin invited all you guys. I don't really know how it all worked out.
Well, no, because I saw that Shannon posted it, I think, on her Instagram,
okay.
Coming, guest. So I'm telling both of them, like, look, man, we gotta go, like anything Shannon, we definitely support. Like we were there for her grand opening for her hotel, in Southfield. So like we definitely support Shannon and we love her.
Great. Yeah, then I'll say the next Shannon Steele then, because I know that she's really big in commercial real estate as well. So great. I also interviewed Wally. He's another EXP realtor, but he's like in the Ann Arbor, the Washtenaw area, so you might not be as familiar with him. But he's up and coming as well. If there was one thing you could change about starting your real estate business or brokerage, what would that be?
It would be to get a mentor. I've never had a mentor ever. And a lot of people come to me and they ask me, do I mentor? And I used to, but I do give them great resources to help them that actually help me. So actually how I got started, I used to just lurk in the Bigger Pockets forum. So Bigger Pocket is like one of the premier real estate investing like networks online. Like it is definitely, if not number one, it's a close second. So basically my whole theory was I don't have to reinvent the wheel. All I have to do is duplicate and maybe implement other processes that are like niche to my goals, right? And that's all I did, nothing special, just what other successful individuals were doing in other markets and just try to duplicate some of that and try to implement, some of my own, techniques as well.
Okay, great. Well, what piece of advice would you give a new rookie just starting in the business?
Right now, because the laws are changing, I would definitely say get licensed. In some states, to broker properties without a license is illegal. Right? Even in the state of Michigan, if you do 5 or more, you technically need your real estate agent's license or real estate salesperson's license. And a lot of people don't know that. And they may kind of tighten down on that a little bit because like in Chicago, it's illegal to broker, a property that you don't own without a real estate license. So you don't get the 5 or more. It's just straight, and then Ohio is the same way. And it's
right.
So they're cracking down on it. So I would say just for the knowledge as well, definitely just try to get licensed. And the exam isn't that difficult. It's mostly just memorization.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm a former realtor myself. And when I was a member of Agriba, then now Gidra, I was a member as an insurance agent. But yeah, the real estate exam is super easy. It's really not that difficult.
Right.
Especially if you like history and, learning about different facts and stuff, you could easily pass that. Mm-hmm. So I totally agree. Yeah, that would definitely be a step 1. And 2 is to get a mentor, someone that you can get up under. And Wally was telling me that's one of the nice things about EXP is that you have the option of starting with or without a mentor. So I think any rookie agent should definitely have a mentor, even if they don't join a team. They should have someone that they're accountable to and that knows more than they do.
Right. And their educational, program with EXP is definitely bar none. Like is great. So, I would definitely say for new agents, you could join like a, typical big brokerage. Or the beautiful thing about EXP is that not only do you still get the educational aspect, but you get like the revenue share and right. You make money off of other people. So why not? Right? It's just yeah. So like compounded wealth streams.
Right. And it's nice that they allow you to do that. That you kind of almost like they're using a multi-level marketing model with the business. But I think if you do recruit someone, I mean, hey, that you should get a little bit of something, especially if you're also helping to train them too.
Right.
Yeah, so I understand the philosophy behind that 100%. Okay, how is establishing credibility? How do you establish credibility when just starting out, either with name recognition or real estate organizations?
So I would definitely say focus on trying to build a brand. Think long and hard, like what will make you stand out. And then I just say just focus on one client at a time. That's how you build a brand.
Right.
All it takes is one review, and then the next person that you work with, they saw, okay, great, this person left, this person left a review, so I'm going to leave one as well. And it's like a slow process. For me, it was, it wasn't no overnight anything.
Right.
Just do good business and, be ethical, and word of mouth, especially in real estate, where it is a large industry, in totality, but the real players is kind of a small, like we all know each other. So,
right.
And reputation is everything. I mean,
absolutely,
it's everything. And it's truly the lifeblood of my business, because before the current climate that we're in right now, which is like a strict seller's market, like is total like crunch as far as inventory. Before this, like I pretty much went years and years with no marketing, like no paid marketing, just referrals. And
that's great.
Like my business just ran off of like 100% referrals. Now we have to do some paid marketing because it's just tight out here, right?
Exactly. It got more competitive, probably.
Right. Well, all those referrals go back to reputation.
Exactly.
The sellers that I did previous deals with thought of me when they were ready to either buy or sell again, and they entrusted me with their property, just because of my previous, success with them. So just get into a frame of mind that from day one, like, don't take the easy road,
Right.
Don't try to cheat people. Sometimes, you may have to make little to nothing on the deal, but it's more so about that relationship that you're building with that person than the actual, dollar amount that you make.
Yeah, because the other thing too is even if you don't make a lot with them, especially with you being in commercial real estate, they'll come back to you. You might not make a lot on that deal, but you probably will on the next one, and then they'll refer you to a lot of their friends. So yeah.
Yes.
So it's not always a wash. It's things. A lot of things are cyclical. They just come back to you at another time. So
right.
I mean, that's like a biblical law, right?
Circle.
It's a big circle. Give it, it'll be given to you.
Exactly.
Right. Let's see. Do you think it's best to start your real estate business with a major franchise or an independent agency?
Okay. I would say probably like a big name brokerage at first, because they do have great training programs. Even though starting out, you're split maybe 60-40, 70-30, it's not really about that, right? It's just they have like the reputation, they have like targeted.
They have branding, like
exactly.
It takes time for you to create your own brand.
Right. So basically, just I would say definitely go with one of the big names until you feel comfortable. And then when you feel like that you can kind of do it on your own and you don't need, big brother really like helping you the whole way, then go to like a more boutique firm and, make a higher percentage.
Okay. How important is building relationships and sales? You kind of already covered that, but you can kind of reinforce a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's everything pretty much.
Like it is the lifeblood of my business. Relationships are everything. Now, unfortunately, because the market is so tight, I will say that I have seen some individuals kind of cut corners as far as relationships. But for me, I don't cut corners because, just like they say in the Bible, this too shall pass. And everybody knows the real estate, market. I mean, it's the seller's market.
Yeah.
It could be close to 2008 again. Who knows?
No, I hope not. That's actually
I know.
the real estate market. Yeah. Hope we don't see that again. So you mentioned the marketing. Now you started your business with 100% referrals, which is how I recommend everyone get started in business. I do have a book called Fire Your Job, Be Your Own Boss, that's actually in my book. But what type, once you get to a certain level where maybe sometimes it seems like you've plateaued, what type of marketing are you doing right now?
Well, social media, definitely.
Okay.
So the thing about social media is that it's infinite, right?
Right.
Like,
and most of the time it's free, unless you pay for advertising.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
So I do have like a large client list and database that I could blast emails out to, but I haven't really done that in probably like almost 2 years because I just use social media to pretty much sell all my properties and to get new properties. I just stay active. I always stay in your face. It's like, if you, just saw a Tim McDonald's commercial, you may not even like it, but hey, you may want to get some fries because it's implanted like, oh, hey, So to me, it's just like being first in your mind. And social media is a great, tool that you can use to constantly stay in front of your audience.
Yeah, the one thing about social media, though, I am a member of like several different Facebook groups, and you really do have to stay engaged to really get out of it what you want to as a business owner. Like, the Facebook community wants to know that you care as much about them as they care about you. So you can't really just get on Facebook and start trying to sell something. It just doesn't work. I mean, the relationships have to be genuine and organic. And then from there, once you've established a relationship and a rapport with someone, then you can kind of talk about your product. But you kind of have to start, at ground zero first and start building that relationship. And, you have to go into it saying, I might get something out of this, like that'll benefit me financially or benefit my business, or I might not.
Right. And the way that I started from ground zero is just, so I believe in the law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
Positive begets positive. So I just will put out motivational, stuff, and it just resonated, and I still do it because I believe in my core, so I don't go on social media to complain, to like start drama. Like I totally am like blocked off from all of that. Like it's totally
exactly.
It's just strictly positivity, and that's it. So I don't get involved in no drama. Right? I don't have.
I like you a lot already. The one thing that's worse than a drama queen is a drama king. I'm like, this person is not. I'm like, y'all are worse than the women. What's going on here?
I don't get it. Don't make dollars that don't make sense. To me, that doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. But being like a positive force, especially when like, you never know what somebody else is going through. Like sometimes I may not even feel like putting out nothing positive. And then I see something on my timeline that just like hits home, and I'm like, you know what? I appreciate that, and it just gives you that boost. So it's not just for you to just always try to give to other people. Sometimes you're there to receive it.
Absolutely. I love motivational speakers. And I almost want to call him a preacher, but I know he's not a preacher. But I love TD Jakes as a preacher and a motivational speaker. And I also love John Maxwell. And
I love John Maxwell.
I mean, that's my man, right? So I love him because he does a lot of leadership training too, but a lot of the motivational speaking, they're like basically they're giving you the scripture without giving you that scripture address. So it's like I feel like I'm still in church even though I'm really not there. And I think sometimes to deliver a message, I'm not saying that John Maxwell is a Christian. I really don't know what his religion or beliefs are. But sometimes I think the Bible or the message that Jesus is just trying to get across has to be presented in different ways for people to receive it.
Right.
So there was a lot in the law of attraction. Not that I'm into New Ageism or anything, but I watched the movie a couple times.
Mhm.
And a lot of the philosophy and the beliefs that come right from the Bible. You know, some of it came from like Buddhism, but a lot of these different tenets have, you know, Christian elements with them. Even New Ageism and, you know, agnostics, like God is in everything. You know, sometimes the stuff gets a little bit, you know, out there, like people turning into space cadets. So I don't really get that far out there, but a lot of the things like they talk about, you know, using joy as a healing element. Well, that's in the Bible too. So the information that came from the Bible, you know, I'm like, that's right on. I definitely agree with that. So yeah, I'm very much into motivational speakers, and a lot of salespeople are extremely optimistic people. So they usually like listening to motivational speakers. That's why I like for like a lot of conventions, like, you know, Amway, Quick Star, or, you know, some of the big name franchises, Keller Williams, Farmers. They usually will start their conferences or conventions with a motivational speaker, or they'll end with one, because they know how powerful motivational speaking is.
So
if you have a sales force, you want to get them fired up. Like, that's one of the best ways to do it. Get a motivational speaker up there.
I actually did Amway and Quick Star.
Me too. I sold a whole lot of stuff.
Man, freshman year in college, right? So even though I'm still in the library like 8 hours, I'm still business minded. Even before my mom gave me Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I would carry the plan with me, and like I know I bugged the crap out of my colleagues, because if they saw me coming down, they knew I was gonna get them. They knew I was coming. They knew I was coming.
They're like, run for your life. Here it comes. Here comes
you ain't got to get ready. I had that plan ready, hot and ready. Okay, like come here.
Wow. Well, how was your recruiting with it?
I actually did pretty good, you know. And I went to a couple conferences with.
I went to a conference too.
Yeah, so Bill Britt, and then my favorite was Dave Severin. Dave Severin. And I still listen to it to this day. It's on YouTube, and it's called Pigs Don't Know Pig Stink.
Pigs Don't Know Pig Stink. Okay.
Pigs Don't Know Pig Stinks. You got to check it out. Man, it talks to your soul, okay? Like, when you get finished listening to this, you're going to feel some type of way, okay? Yeah. But it's going to be a good type of way, and it's going to kick you in the butt and like make you change something up, and just, you know, it's really just help you get out your own way, basically. And Dave Severin is like a no holds barred type guy, and I like those blunt, raw, real type people. Like, that's really what I connect with, and that's why I guess real estate, you know, primarily the buyers, you know, because they're more like, you know, non-emotional. It's just numbers to them, you know. Like, that's why, you know, I have partners like Robin and Mike, because they can connect more so with the sellers. They have a lot more patience, you know. Facts.
Some agents are better buyers agents, and other ones are better sellers agents. The best thing to know is just where your strengths are and go with your strengths. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Capitalize on what you're good at.
And that's what I gotta do.
The one I met a guy yesterday, and he said that his mom said he talks all the time. So he said right now he's a waiter at a restaurant. He said, I'm using my gift to my advantage. I'm like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So I was like, good for you. He said, I got the gift of gab, so I just like meeting people all day, and he's like, he's making good tips off of it.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah, that's what TD Jakes says. He said, use every gift God gave you. He said, every gift you have is so you can somehow benefit or make money off of it.
Exactly.
I'm like, and he's the epitome of that. Like, he's actually done that in his real life. So he's a great person to give advice like that.
Yeah, my mom will always go to the Woman Die or Lose conference.
I've been to those too. So
yeah.
I followed TD pretty well. Now, it's awesome that you see a whole family kind of in the ministry now. His wife, Sarita, and his daughters are now in it. I'm not really sure if what his son is doing, but they might not be old enough yet. But it's just really beautiful that you can see that, played out, that, it's not only like they're not just getting up there in the pulpit preaching it, but they actually live it too. So
Right.
that speaks volumes.
People, like when they, feel like that you're just doing it just for ulterior motives. I mean, you're not gonna really have that great of a following unless you're just that good.
Exactly.
So everybody knows me. Like I eat, breathe, and sleep real estate. So really, like I've been up over 24 hours. You can't even tell.
That's awesome. Like what? Okay. I don't know. As long as it's rated G or PG, can you tell us why you've been up for 24 hours? Like what is a typical day in John Clear's life? Because I'm just kind of curious. What's going on?
Okay. So, like I talked about, like the law of attraction.
Right.
So me, like I just like throwing things out there, and then knowing that they're gonna come back to me some way, somehow. I just don't know how they're gonna come back. So
Right.
like exactly a week ago today, that was Wendy Patton's like MREI meeting.
Right.
And like one of the local investors here that that I'm real cool with, his name is Todd Chung. We met and like we just clicked that night, right? And like we did this video. And it was crazy. Like we was talking all this stuff, and we were like, "Man, we're about to do this." And people probably thought we were crazy, right? But we put it out in the atmosphere.
Okay.
People in our network connected with that, and one investor in particular, he ended up entrusting us with his 32-unit apartment building.
Oh, okay. Wow. Just from putting stuff out there.
I'm telling you, just
like you said, law of attraction.
Right. Just from our like 3-minute video that we put on, Facebook, he saw that.
It's like these guys are crazy. But probably your enthusiasm is what caught his attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I knew that I had to go this morning and view the actual apartment building. So usually if it's like a single family, I'll probably just hire somebody to go down there and just take the pictures and do a showing for me. But apartment buildings and like larger, like luxury properties, they, like that's what excites me. So so this one's on the east side, like near Chalmers.
Oh, okay.
So deep east.
I'm like, don't knock the east side. I'm from the east side.
But didn't even matter, right? Because the building is absolutely beautiful, and I was just so excited to go see it that like I just couldn't sleep.
Oh, that's why you were so excited. Okay.
Yeah.
East side, honestly, like in Detroit, you're not going to find better architecture in the state than Detroit. It's a jewel of the state. It's as the saying goes, as Detroit goes, so goes the rest of the state. But that like Audubon, there's some streets on the east side that are just gorgeous. So don't just disown the east side.
No, I'm not. On the east or west, it don't matter.
Yeah. But west siders, they're like, oh, the east side. And I'm like, I go down to some of these, some of these streets on the west side. I'm like, it's no different. What is the difference? I'm not like originally born from Detroit, but I'm just like, I just really think that the west side is just a little overrated in some places.
And actually, the east side has some great areas where
they have little pockets.
Yeah, they do. That's highly desirable, and you wouldn't even believe some of the prices that they're getting right now.
There's mansions in the Berry subdivision. I mean, by the mayor's mansion, there's other mansions on the water. So you got Grosse Pointe and Lakeshore Drive, and it just goes on and on. So there's a lot of nice real estate over here that I don't think a lot of people know about. But just keep driving down Jefferson. You'll bump into it.
Exactly.
Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today. That's all the time we are going to have to show John Clear's video and interview. Join us again next Tuesday for our next live session. We're looking forward to meeting with you. You'll see the rest of John Clear's interview and possibly another new guest, more than likely a realtor. We just wanted to let you know or remind you about our March 15th webinar from 7 to 8 p.m. We're going to have the Jetta Group. I'll be hosting the Jetta Group, and they are going to talk about commercial real estate and what the market is doing in Michigan. So we hope that you join us. For more information, go to our website at dbhg.org/events. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Bye, everybody. Have a good evening.